Watch your corners. You fucking spastic. Right.
Trap!
Oh fuck! Suspects have taken refuge in the area.
That's a cute little tank. It's a cute little tank. Not even shooting at us. Look, guys, he's friendly. Oh fuck!
Choke me like you hate me, but you love me low-key. Wanna date me when you fuck me, touch me with the lights off and my chains on. Baby, I'm not the right one, you should wait on.
Hello everybody today. Welcome to my podcast again after a long time, and today my guest is how you spell it, your name? Martinus Aokishiro. I say it
Indeed,
right?
yes, Martinus Aokishiro.
Martinus Aokishiro. Okay.
For the Americans out there.
Okay, Martin. If I can start, starting with the casual question, like every time. So,
All right.
how are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing pretty well actually. Been looking forward to this, so I have an entire day off just for this.
Okay, this will be hard today. Very hard for me.
I'm sure I can
Uh,
take much of these questions myself. It's fine.
So, I pick a first question for you. Why you choose Avatar for streaming?
Why being a VTuber, in other words,
Or
instead of a normal streamer?
Why you want to be a VTuber or choose an Avatar?
Well, there are actually three main reasons for being a VTuber in today's streaming scene, which is your creativity is basically virtually unlimited. Your imagination as well has basically no bounds, no effect on how you're doing your content, because you can just, since you're a drone avatar, drone character, you can just get yourself be drawn. Anything that you think of, anything that you come up with can be created. Of course, assuming that you get the money for it and someone who knows how to draw it. But other than that, completely unlimited, boundless creation. And also the room for storytelling, which is like a primary thing for a VTuber, because every VTuber, well, most of the VTubers out there have a lore. And basically, if you're just the written character, like just an anime avatar, basically, you can be anything, you can do anything, you can come up with the craziest stories you can imagine, and all of that is basically for free as well. Because if you're making lore and you're writing it yourself, the only thing you need is a Google Doc. You're just gonna write it down. Who's gonna stop you? Are the people gonna read it? That's a different question, but that's up to them, not you. So, once it's written, it's written. So being a VTuber as opposed to a normal streamer basically means unlimited liberty with your content. Of course, within the bounds of terms of service, because you can't be just running around naked on Twitch. We've seen a lot of that before, and thank God they got banned for that, because they make us look bad. But, I'm not gonna name any names here. Yeah, that's basically it, though.
Yeah,
you can do
be
anything.
Everything what you want to be in Isekai.
Like, yeah, not just Isekai. It can be anything, even in the countings of Earth, normal stuff. You can have yourself be drawn as a private military contractor, for example. You can be a police officer. You can do any kind of a job. We got VTubers out there who are kings, for example. We got VTubers out there who lead some fictional military outfits, just like me, for example. And different kinds of stuff, different beings, even fantasy beings, of course, hybrids. There's no limit to what you can be as a VTuber, basically. As long as you feel good about it, and as long as you're creative about it, yeah, just no limits whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a casual answer. Like, no, everybody, that most of them say the same thing like you.
Which is good. Which is good because it means that we, it means that it's basically true. because it's why we do it.
Yeah, yeah. What I know, the artists most be a VTubers. The most artists in Czech become a VTubers because they draw them.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah, they draw
characters.
themselves.
Yeah. Sorry. And
It's okay.
why you choose? You have 2D avatar or 3D avatar?
I used to have a live 2D. Well, basically, I still do possess the live 2D. Never had a 3D, but I mostly stream with PNG.
Why with PNG?
Yeah, I guess that's a fair question. The reason why I stream with a PNG right now is because it's just convenient to me. Because streaming with a PNG is not only a budget solution, but it's also comfy in a way that you don't need tracking software. You don't have to fire up your iPhone, for example. You don't have to fire up your camera. You don't have to set stuff up. And also, if you're doing live 2D, you're being like constantly tracked by something, and to me that's kind of a uncomfy feeling of like, oh yeah, people are actually not just watching me as in me making content, but they're also watching my facial expressions, the position of my head, and a lot of people enjoy that, but me not so much. That's only a minor reason though why I'm not using my live 2D anymore. The main reason is because I don't feel like it actually fully represents the way how I want to be representing myself online. It doesn't truly fit in with the image I'm going for. And when we made it back then, it was more like just to get something, really. I did pay a significant amount for it because it's made by a pretty well-known artist out there, so they of course charge like big amounts of money for it. So yeah, it wasn't cheap, and I still have it, and it's well rigged, but I just feel like me using a PNG like right now is kind of better, at least for now, until I get that one avatar that truly speaks to me.
What I know, so some reason what some VTubers choose PNG is low budget PC. This is not your way.
It's certainly not a problem for me. My PC is
okay.
very good. I got a 370 and all that. I put a lot of money into my PC, but I do understand that live 2D models can be very taxing on the computer, and if you really want to be providing your viewers with a good experience and flawless gameplay, you probably don't want that model to be lagging your PC. So, as I say, PNG VTubers are completely valid. There's many reasons why you would be doing that, why you should be doing that. You should definitely at least be starting out as a PNG, because what you want to nurture is your personality, not your looks.
We have problem with this because some how can I say more popular is women's Beeroid Studio can't do simple male avatar, so never mind. Next question.
Okay.
Your history, when you start streaming and how long you stream.
Okay,
or
so
today or whatever.
It's nothing too incredible, I'd say, but I started out back in 2021 actually. And
2021, like always in a Corona lockdown, I guess.
Yeah, the peak lockdown era.
Yeah.
Basically, I was considering streaming even before that, mainly because I had a couple of VTubers I watched before. To name a few, that would be Nyanners, who is like my main idol. You got Shirakami Fubuki, and also Hoshimachi Suse. And those are the big corporate VTubers, of course. Well, Nyanners isn't, but you know, she's still big.
No, I have a video about Nyanners, so just look at that someday.
Yeah, I know a lot about how Nyanners used to be. I used to be this is I'm kind of shooting myself down here, but before I started VTubing, I was her tier 3 sub for a year. So, you know, yeah, that's kind of a considerate amount of money to be subbing to someone on level 3, but I felt like, you know, she was just funny, and I like that about her. Very down to ground, and my kind of humor. So, a lot of people hate her nowadays for that humor. A lot of people hate me for that humor too. So, I guess, you know, like idol, like the idolizing person. But, the question was about me. So, yeah, I started VTubing 2021. It was late summer 2021. I went through a pretty bad period of my mental health. So, seeking kind of a way out of all that shit, leaving it behind me, I decided I'm gonna make myself a virtual persona. I mean, I've been known as Martinus ever since 2014, but I added this Japanese surname to it, which represents my main colors, because it's just 3 colors. Aokishiro. Ao stands for blue, Ki stands for yellow, Shiro is white.
Yeah.
So, very simple, actually. And a lot of people don't know that, because when they see this huge mumbo jumbo together, they're like, oh, holy shit, how am I gonna say that? And they don't realize what it means, but it's actually very simple, basic Japanese, basically like Duolingo level.
Yeah,
And
I know Shiro is a white and Kuro is a black.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you got Shirakami Fubuki, and Shira, you know,
Yeah,
Shira, white, Kami, God, so, you know, even their
that
names
makes
are fairly
sense
simple.
for me right now.
So, I
but-
started out
but,
without
uh,
basically
so-
anything. Yeah?
So sorry, I jump into that.
No, sure.
Shirokami Fubuki is a Japanese VTuber, right?
Indeed she is.
And you speak Japanese? Yeah.
Well, I don't per se speak Japanese, but I do understand somewhat. I'm something of a linguist myself, I'd say, and to a certain degree of proficiency, I can understand up to 10 languages last time I counted. So it's like, you know, Mr. Worldwide kind of situation. And when I'm listening to Japanese VTubers play, I usually catch enough in their sentences to understand the context of their sentences. And I was also using streams of Japanese VTubers to actually learn Japanese, or at least get my brain to listen to it and differentiate between individual words, because that's like the most basic thing you have to do when you're trying to learn a language. You have to know where a word begins and where it ends. And for that, the streams of Japanese VTubers are actually pretty good. So that's why.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, back to your history, please.
Yep.
You
Alright.
started in 2021 and
Yeah, 2021 late summer. I didn't even have any like avatar to represent me at that time, so I worked it out with one of my friends who made me a concept. Then I found myself an artist who happened to be JTP, which is an artist I stuck with for all of these years. He's still creating stuff for me. He's my main artist. And JTP made this reference sheet with me, out of which I used the avatar as a PNG. So I actually started out as a PNG tuber, which is basically the natural thing to do. And I was eventually, when I was streaming, I streamed in Czech, I think for like 2 months, to just like play with my Czech friends and see how it goes. And then I was like, well, you know, I'm pretty good at English, and I've been speaking English since I was 10, like in some simple way, I'd say. Not really the best, but I was learning online a lot. I was playing video games, was listening to how people speak, and eventually I've arrived to the point where I was able to communicate fluently. And so at this time in 2021, I told myself, well, a lot of VTubers are streaming in English, and if I want to actually get somewhere ever, I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing. But at the same time, I am Czech. I was born in the Czech Republic, and I feel like I should represent us in some way. So that's what I'm trying to do as well. And so I was streaming in English, but me being Czech was also always a public thing. So, you know, everybody could see the flag. Everyone knew that I was Czech, because every description of me would be blue-haired Czech fox boy. It was always there. And so I went on like this. eventually with my IRL friends who were not very, let's say, excited at the beginning at the prospect of me using a avatar, which is a blend of course, something that they consider furry. So they got used to it gradually, though. I wasn't really afraid that people would hate me for it, because if they would hate me for streaming with an avatar, I don't really consider them to be my friends. And in the end, all of my friends actually were completely okay with me doing this. And as I said, I've been doing this for years now, and none of them left because of this.
Okay, that's cool. Cool. Sorry, I don't understand them very well. You start streaming without avatar?
Indeed.
Indeed.
For a short while, but yes.
Sure, like, and do you stream with face cam or without cam?
I was streaming without anything actually at
Yeah,
the beginning.
yeah.
There's nothing besides gameplay and my voice.
Okay.
Also had a pretty shitty mic back then.
Yeah, this is what we have problem. We all us problem with the mic in starting our streaming career.
I mean, then I bought a Blue Yeti and was kind of a step up, which I'm currently using. Of course, there are better mics than that, but I'm not really looking to upgrade because, my voice sounds pretty okay, I'd say, for now.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me, what are your achievements like if you stream with avatars? Your personal achievements, what you did?
Personal achievements. Well, it's kind of hard for me not to be self-critical, so I did actually write these down, to be honest. I have 3 points here, which I sort of set out for myself to, pat myself on the back. The achievements are actually not really that much connected to the channel itself, as it is to what I managed to work around the channel and build up around the channel. I'm very proud of the community I have been able to surround myself with. Mainly the amount of Czech VTubers I actually met over the years, and they were able to cooperate with me and stay with me, because that makes me feel like we're actually pulling the same end of the rope, in a manner of speaking, that we're all in the same boat, that we're working together, and it's really beautiful. But
yeah. Continue.
but not just that. Also the people I've met in the international community who stuck around me are incredible, and honestly, I love every single one of them. Sometimes they do something stupid, because you know how VTubing community is, so that happens. I of course have to go through that difficult decision making of, okay, was that bad enough to actually not associate with them anymore? But those I consider real friends. I'm just gonna do everything for them. I love them, and streaming with them is great.
I have a question about that. Have you in your chat community more people from Czech or more people than I don't know, around the world?
According to my statistics, which I was looking at actually yesterday, there seems to be a pattern of which countries view me the most. The first 3 places, there is Czech Republic in there, but it's the 3rd place. The 2nd is Germany, and the 1st is United States of America.
Okay, that's cool.
So, knowing that I stream in English, I obviously seem to be making a bigger impact on the US guys than on the Czech people, but there is still a sizable number of Czech viewers, which makes me happy, because I'm noticed in my own country, which is good. Because I know that still, like, a lot of us don't really grasp English that well. I've been around the Czech VTubing community as well a little bit. I don't think I really interact with Czech VTubers who are VTubing in Czech, because until recently I didn't really know that there was a Czech VTubing community for Czech people. But apparently there are, like, pretty big names out there, I found out, but I don't know them and they don't know me. So there still seems to be kind of a wall between us, which is really sad, in my opinion, because I think we would be much better off if we were actually working together, even in Czech language. sometimes because I do sometimes stream in Czech.
Yeah, I know about that. Maybe what I think is because in USA the VTubing is more popular than in Europe, because you know Vishojo and Iron Mouse.
Indeed. Yeah, that might be the reason.
Iron Mouse is the biggest VTuber on the world. You know, maybe that's why you have more people from USA, the most people from USA, you know.
It might more be the reason that I used to stream on a slightly different time schedule. I would stream from 7 p.m. our time to 2 a.m. Our time, but like 1 to 2 years ago, my internet provider decided that it's a good idea to restart my connection every single day at 48 minutes past midnight for no reason, basically. So I had to stop doing that. I have to stop my streams around midnight because it can just screw up the entire stream, that kind of disconnect, and you never know for how long it's gonna be. So I got basically hardware limited in a way, and I've been solving that with my ISP, and there was like no solution came up, basically, because nobody knows what is happening. Apparently it just goes out. Nobody wants to solve it. So, but I think because of that schedule, mostly American viewers know me, and I think the majority of VTubers I know are actually from the United States, because there's just so many of them that, you know, by definition, you're just probably gonna meet most of American VTubers more than anyone else. Second place is Germans, I'd say, because there's a lot of them too.
Yeah, well, sorry. What I know is you know Takanashi Kiara from
Austria,
England?
yes.
Yeah, she's from Austria. That's a cool, you know, because someone from Europe is in this big company or whatever, how you say it.
Yeah, it is. HoloLive is a VTubing corporation, even.
Yeah, okay, corporation, whatever. So, tell me, next question. Your failures. What do you think you have failed like a VTuber?
Okay, so there isn't that much of this, but definitely one thing I regret is getting into a public relationship with another VTuber, which was kind of a terrible idea. I think this was around a year ago, year or two. It's kind of hazy. I try not to think about it too much because oh shit, it was bad at that time because we had a breakup, and that was the really bad thing about it. We had such a violent breakup that it split our shared community, and I lost most of it. So that was a pretty bad it was a pretty bad moment for me as a VTuber, and then I vowed not to ever do that ever again. Relationships should probably just stay private, I'd say, because public relationships are an evil thing.
You can see in our Czech streamers or TikTokers what happened if you take relationships in your hobbies or your streams, whatever. How it turns out. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. Tell me. I hope it translates right. What can people find or look forward on your stream?
On my streams. Well,
or your streams.
yeah. No, it's fine. Well, content-wise, I'm a variety streamer, and that basically means that I play a lot of different types of games. I don't have a niche, and I've heard a lot of VTubers write, like, of course, those VTubers who made it somewhere and they think they made it somewhere, almost always write these little documents about how to be successful, and almost all of them agree that you should have a niche to you, like something that you just stick to. One genre of video games, for example. I don't think that's necessary, though at the same time, I haven't been doing this and I'm not even 1K, so it's like, you know, I don't know if that actually would make me more successful in those years if I just stuck to military-themed games. But I do mostly play military stuff, but I also play city builders, I play strategies, and sometimes even racing games. I know I played a few Need for Speed games on stream before because
Okay.
I just like basically everything. I enjoy visual novels too, but I don't consider that to be streaming material really. So if I do a visual novel, it's usually something that I voice act with other people as a collab thing. In general, there are two types of streams I do. If we don't count the check streams, which are usually just very random. I do solo streams and I do collab streams. Solo streams are usually very chill. They're very long also because I don't have to adhere to other people's schedules. So I usually stream for like 7 to 9 hours. That's something I like doing. And they're also very quiet because if I don't have an active chat or I don't feel like the game needs excessive commentary from my part, I just shut the hell up. And that is a bad thing for VTuber apparently, but you know, it's also about being comfortable streaming. And I'm comfortable streaming when I just silently observe, and when there's something worth commenting on, I will definitely go on a tangent about it. But until then, unless you ask me something, or unless there's something a video game requires me to interact with, I usually just won't talk too much, because I hate wasting my breath on completely stupid comments. The second is collab streams. Now these are wholly different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of a different person when I do collabs. I'm very social and very loud also. And I usually do like calculated decisions, mainly when we play Ready or Not, for example. I did a few Ready or Not collabs, which I was organizing under myself as an element commander. And I had VTubers there who knew nothing about military, police, anything.
Mm-hmm.
They were sometimes they were even bad at shooters in general. And I was teaching these guys. I was like herding them in my little team. I gave them individual buddy teams. I gave them colors, elements, and everything so we could communicate quickly. And I was teaching them how to do Ready or Not, the policing work, the SWAT team stuff, CQC action, and just pushing them around. And they said that like I'm pretty good at this, like leading people and actually organizing stuff. So when it comes to collabs, which are militaristic in nature, I usually have the leading role in them. And that means I talk at least 2,000% more than I talk in my solo streams, because there's no one to talk to. But yeah, those are the two types of streams I do.
Have you a real life experience from, I don't know, something like Ready or Not, like you said, leading people in these situations?
Well, I was in the military, but I was not deployed, and that means, like, of course, everyone else who was in the military and was deployed will say that I'm completely something beneath them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess I do agree with that. But the thing about being corporal is that you are not the lowest rank. You have responsibility, even if it's like marginal. You still lead privates and privates first class. Now in the Czech military, you don't have privates. Privates are only the people who go through the boot camp. So PFCs are the people underneath you. And there's usually not many of them in the unit, but if you do find yourself to be the highest ranking person there, where you're doing whatever, you do actually have that responsibility. And I did have to exercise it a few times, even though I didn't get much respect because first, I'm young, and usually the people in the military we have today are like around 40. And when I went to the uni, I was 20. So yeah, but at the same time, I did earn respect of some of these older people, and then I was able to actually exercise some authority and lead them in some way. Of course, there were menial tasks, like we were doing maintenance, we had to organize events, but yeah, I've been there, and since I've been there, you know, you see how your superiors work, and that usually gives you an idea about how you should be doing it. You don't see everything, but most like being a lieutenant is not that much different from being a sergeant in the military. You just have to command people, you just have a little bit more responsibility. and a little bit more paperwork that comes with it. So yeah, leading people is kind of my thing. Now, if we're not talking about the real life military stuff, I was in a Czechoslovakian Arma 3 clan for 5 years. That was to 2015 to 2020. And there, I was a training officer and like just a general officer, but also like a training officer, training sergeant, whatever. And I was training people. I was teaching them how to play the game effectively, how to work as a team, how to react to contacts, all of that. So, in the whole military sphere of knowledge, I do have that, mainly in video games, but also a little bit in real life, and I know how to apply those in a well-balanced manner.
Seriously, now I want to play Ready or Not with you.
A lot of people do, which is crazy to me, honestly.
Okay. That's all from you.
On this topic, yeah.
For this question, okay.
For the question.
So, I don't know how I say this. So, how can people get you on stream? For example, favorite debates and
what gets me going? I guess what gets me tick. Well, honestly, anything that is about the military and it is a question more than a suggestion, I usually like to elaborate on. I'm a little bit of an egoist, I suppose, in the way that I don't like people telling me how to do stuff that I know how to do.
Yeah,
unless,
like everyone.
I guess, unless it is like a really good suggestion and I see the merit in it immediately, I just don't like that. So if it's like, oh, you use an HK416, maybe you should use this gun, and I would be like, no. But if it is a question in the form of why are you using this weapon right now, or like what can you tell me about that gun, I have an extensive knowledge in firearms, military stuff, military trivia, military history, but not just military history, actually history as a whole. I was always fascinated by that, and also geographical things. So what I'm really into is world building and lore writing. Those are the two things that really get me going. And I've had some people come to me before, mainly because I offered, but also some of them on their own, who wanted help with lore, VTubing lore. And I would provide that. And that's something I love doing. I love writing stories. I hate reading them, but at least I do proofread them once, so you know. So there's that much I can do. But I do love writing stuff. And I have many documents on my drive at this point, which are, most of them are handbooks about how the whole lore thing works around me. But there's also a storybook which explains basically the entire story of my character, and there's an individual story that follows afterwards as well, which has like a major event in it. And I will definitely be writing more in the future.
Okay, I sent you something after podcast. Remind me that, please.
All right.
So, tell me something about, again, your avatar. Avatar appearance. Who did your avatar again, and how much
did it cost?
did it cost? Sorry, and why this appearance?
Okay, so, well, considering that we have only 1 hour for this whole thing, I should probably make it short because I could go on a tangent about this for like at least 3.
No, it can be. We have so much time.
All right,
take it easy.
Okay, so the concept of Martinus Aokishiro. Now, what you see right in front of you here is the newest 2.0 design, and the PNG was made by Lossless. You can find him on Twitter. Now, I have everything tagged in my Discord, and I have actually everything tagged in my credits as well. If you go to my Twitch About Me section, I have a panel with credits. Everything is written there. Everyone is mentioned in that, so you can find anything I have very easily. And I make sure to shout out all my artists because they're fucking amazing. And so this one you see right now is the current version of me. it's a 2.0 design actually. I don't have a Live 2D which would be in 2.0. That's one of the reasons why I'm not using my old Live 2D because that's 1.0. Nothing much changed, but as you can see, I am really into military stuff, so I got a lot of gear on myself. And all of that gear is devised from my head, basically. Joint cooperation with JTP, of course, because he knows a little bit about military stuff too. And of course, he had to he had to draw all of this. Because I did say that this PNG in front of you is made by Lossless, but the reference sheet for that PNG, which is my 2.0 reference sheet, which is a kind of a big thing actually, I have it pinned on my Twitter if you want to check it out. That one was made by JTP, and it was a pretty lengthy project because I really wanted something that is in the style of Whiskey. Whiskey, I don't know if you guys know Whiskey, but Whiskey's a she's a VTuber, military VTuber, PMC VTuber from Netherlands.
Whiskey Project, I know her.
Yes.
I know who is
That
it.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
She streams with Remy quite often. It's
Can I stop
probably
you?
on
Have you the older avatar in your PC or whenever?
I do. I have everything saved. I can send that to you.
Can
You want to show it now?
No. Send me that after podcast. I throw it here in post production.
All right.
Thanks.
Fairs. So, we got all of that. The first design was also made by JTP. The inspiration for that design was drawn by Kyoki, which is a Czech friend I have I had known for quite some while. So back in the day, we had this one little design. So I had a sketch from my friend. That sketch was brought to JTP. JTP made my first reference sheet, which, funnily enough, the first reference sheet's clothing is based on what I still wear in real life to this day, basically, because I have I like cargo pants. I wear my cargo pants. I have both my cargo pants and my fleece jacket from Helicontex, because I like paramilitary clothing. So I do wear a fleece jacket with patches as well in real life, and it's not that far from how the avatar looks like. So that was the first design, and then we did the Live 2D after that, and Live 2D was kind of loosely based on it. The artist had her kind of an own idea of how she would like me to look like, which I was pretty okay with, but now looking back at it, it's made me seem too mature, I'd say. Because JTP's drawing style is more of like a femboyish appearance kind of thing. When he draws me, I look kind of like a chibi depiction of someone, which I do like. It's okay.
Yeah, chibi avatars are nice.
Basically, I mean, he did make chibis for me, like actual chibis as well, and it wasn't far from his usual style because he just draws in this style of his. A lot of effects, very flashy.
Do you know Yuki Anne? Or she?
Of course I do.
She has a nice chibi avatar I ever seen.
Oh, I've seen her models. She did one for Boldy as well. That's mainly why I know, because me and Boldy we're in the same VTubing group actually.
Okay.
So yeah, there are connections between us, and I do know Yuki indeed, and she knows me as well.
Maybe if I remember, maybe she told me about you. Maybe maybe Zumada. You know Zumada?
I do, yes.
Yeah. Maybe Yuki told me about you. Maybe Zumada. I don't remember well. Sorry.
Both of them do know me, so it is possible that both of them did. Though I'm not that much of an interesting person to a lot of people, especially in the Czech VTubing scene, I'd say, because there are a lot more flashier guys around and girls, of course, as well, which I think deserve a little bit more attention, and they usually do have a lot more attention than I do. Like, for example, you have Miri there. Of course, Miri is a star, and also Babub, I think is her name, the Milan girl. She's pretty big.
Okay.
Also, Slovakians got Orkalon, which is very big VTuber as well.
I did podcast with Orchalon, and And Kianini, if you know, she's the biggest Czech VTuber, Kianini.
Yep. Actually, doesn't ring a bell, surprisingly.
Yeah, I had both of them on the podcast show, you know.
Well, that's I guess that's an honorable place for me to be there then.
That was a question of the time. Sorry for that.
It's this little guy, this little nobody here on a podcast where
no,
stars used to be before.
No, you are not Mr. Nobody. If you will be Mr. Nobody, you will not hear.
All right then. I'm gonna pretend I believe that. So
No. It's a very long time when someone told me about you. Watch you a long time, and you know, it's very hard for me, and I very prepare for you more than others.
Oh, am I that intimidating?
So okay, have you something for appearance? Next, more about appearance.
I do actually. There is a reason for my design. It's
That's my next question. Why you choose blue-haired Foxy?
Well, okay. There are basically two ways I went about this. First is the real reason. Second is the lore reason.
Okay.
And the lore reason came second, of course, because I had to all will it into existence. I had to think about how it all would fit, and I did make a story about it. But the real reason, funnily enough, well, the colors, I just like the colors, honestly. And I think I was actually looking at Hoshimachi Susei a lot when I was thinking about my avatar's design. Also, Shirakami Fubuki is kind of presented in it as well. As you can see, I have a braid going down one of my sides in the front. She does have that, but on the other side. So that's kind of like a shout out to her pretty much with that design element. The colors... Susei gave me the idea of blue because it works great. And so I went with it, and then I added some of my own flair to it. And the reason why I'm a fox boy is because I was active in this community of my Czech friends, even when I was starting VTubing, and I just put out a poll, and I told them something along the lines of, okay, I'm gonna be VTubing, I'm gonna make myself an avatar, which is a combination of a human being and an animal. I know how bad that sounds, and I want you guys to vote for one of these three options, and the one that pisses you off the least, and that you won't throw up if you see me in, is the one that should win. And so I had a wolf, a cat, and a fox, and the fox won. So...
so sorry, your mic cut you in that, and fuck.
And the fuck, indeed. So, Fox won. And therefore, I was a fox boy from then on. Funnily enough, with the current closest virtual family I have in terms of lore, most of them are actually wolves and not foxes. So, I probably should have been a wolf myself. I think it would have fitted me a little bit better too. But you know what they say? Foxes are smart. So I'm just gonna pretend I am. Now, when it comes to the colors themselves, they do have meanings. And I know I wrote them down here, so I'm not just yapping openly. Okay, I told myself to look into my Discord. Alright, I'm gonna do that. That's because I actually have a room in my Discord which has my entire design description. And I did write all of that down before. So I can just basically read it off or get the idea very quickly. Where are the colors? Colors. Okay, I don't see it right now, so I'm just gonna remember it quickly. So, you got blue, you got white, and you got yellow on me. This is most visible on my tail, for example, because that one is like layered like a little ice cream cone. would be, I guess.
Y-
And yeah.
Sorry, I want to stop you. Where's your tail? This will be my next question. So sorry for that.
Oh, in this design, I don't have my tail visible because it is strapped to the back panel of my plate carrier for convenience reasons.
I think that. I think that.
Because Martinez used to be human, and he doesn't really like this really big fluffy tail behind him if he has to do actually any sort of combat operations. It just gets in the way, it gets dirty. So what he decided to do, and I don't think I've seen this on anyone else ever, is that I've decided to have him strap it to the back of his plate carrier. So it's like out of the way, and it's covered in this little sort of like the bag you put your sleeping bag in. That's basically what it is as well. And he just straps it to the back of his vest.
It's
But-
uncomfortable, nah?
It is actually not, because the tail is very fluffy, and it just goes up. So that doesn't really matter that much. It should be okay. It shouldn't be any chafing or anything. And the colors.
The colors, yeah. Back to
Blue,
the colors.
white, yellow. Blue is the base. Blue represents basically what Martinez stands for himself, which is he is calm under fire. He's a calculating person. Sometimes, of course, he's emotional as well, but most of the personality is that in a situation where people would be panicking, he usually doesn't. Or when he does that, he does it for content because he streams.
Stay calm in every situations. Oh shit.
Well, not every situation. There are of course things that can break him, but Martinez himself is a very calculating person.
Mhm.
He's not very living in the moment. He actually is able to analyze what is going on around him, and that's also why he is leading that private military company of his, because he knows how to do a lot of different stuff, and he's very handy, and can keep a level head. So the blue represents him as himself,
Mhm.
because now we're getting into the lore reasons of why he actually looks like this. I said he used to be human. That is true. He not only used to be human, but this is actually my own self-insert as me, as the real person called Martin. There is part of a story which explains it in my lore book as well. He basically is me, and he shares much of my history until I think like 2020, 2022, 2020 something, where he made a different decision. And as I stayed in the army myself, like in real life, until my contract lapses, this Martinez decided that he's just gonna throw in the towel because he doesn't like it and just go and find something else. So he made a different decision. He left the army earlier than I did. And that led to him, and now we're getting into fictional stuff, because there's a whole ass big reason why I incorporated the SCP Foundation in this, and many of you probably know that.
Yeah, I know SCP. We have something like podcast, something like I don't know how you say, theater in my friend's house about SCP, and I will send you about that. It's a very funny sketch.
All right. Well, I did incorporate the SCP Foundation into this. The reason for that is because at that time, some of you might know SCP Blackout is a thing that exists. I was actually part of the development team on that for a little bit before they decided, due to miscommunication between moderators, which were moderating us on Discord, and Kyle Ham himself, known as Mahalik, the developer of the game, he decided that he doesn't want what we made, and he just kind of scrapped everything I had. I was actually doing voice acting and voice acting scripts for MTF units, which are the Mobile Task Force, the kind of the military security of the Foundation, because I had the knowledge to write something that would make sense for the radio communications, for something a soldier would say. I actually established the MTF unit itself and its lore for that specific, was it Site 50, I think, is where it takes place. It's a fictional site, of course, we made for that. And yeah, basically most of that work was me. and I was really into MTF stuff. I was like reading all of it on the SCP wiki, and so I decided that since they kind of scrapped all of this from the project, all of mine, and because I was a voluntary developer, I wasn't getting paid or anything. I was doing this when I was in high school, and basically like several months of my efforts went to shit immediately. I grabbed all I had on that, the teams I've written, and I took it with me to my own personal lore. So that's where the SCP comes in, and I have Martinus, still called Martin by my real name back then, join this foundation as someone who did a little bit of military time. He actually has like a very little experience and some idea, but they decide to hire him anyway. They reach out to him because they just want to see like if he's actually good at something, and they figure out he is good at a few things. And eventually, in a year's time, he gets his own team to lead. And with that team, he goes on a mission where he essentially loses the entire team because they get ambushed by an entity, which kills his entire team. He gets captured, and then after he gets captured, he gets experimented on with this entity and the science team that has this entity contained there in the facility. This entity in question is a fragment of a soul of a goddess, which is the Japanese goddess Amaterasu, which is the fox goddess, as we know, the god of the sun. And they basically, what these scientists were able to do was that they captured this god being with some new technology they devised for it, and they fractured her soul into small fragments which resemble different emotions, basically emotion based of this god. And they did that to like contain the full power of the god, so it wouldn't destroy them immediately. They could fight back. And so they were trying to fuse these fragments with human beings to create super soldiers, and that's what they did to Martinus, basically. And since the soul of the goddess is kind of like a thinking, living being in its own, she felt bad for, in that frenzy they unleashed her in, for killing the entire team of his, and almost killing Martin or Martinus himself at that point. So she decided to actually like do everything she could to not kill him during this experimentation. Actually decided to just go with it, and to protect him, she did fuse with his soul. So it was two beings in one body. Of course, the human body couldn't really take this too much, and it changed the appearance into what Martinus looks like now, which is a blue-haired fox. This whole change is based on that process. And eventually, it still wasn't good enough, and he died in this world. But since he was stuck with a goddess, she just kind of did the interdimensional fuckadoodle-doo, and she pulled him to a different dimension, where he replaced a person which supposedly died at that moment as well. And coincidentally, because as we know, universes are completely infinite, and so there's infinite possibilities of the same person being there and then, this person he replaced had not only the name of Martinus Aokishiro, but also the same appearance. So nobody could tell a difference, and he was living as an imposter for a few years. Now, the story book that I have written concludes with him actually figuring out why this is a bad thing, and you will have to read it to figure it out, because I would be explaining a lot of text, like 10, 11 chapters. But yeah, Martinus looks like this because he was experimented on, and he shared the soul with a Japanese goddess of the sun.
Do you know Spoiled Mouse?
Spoiled Mouse?
He's a experiment. He's a wrong experiment, like you a little bit, but completely different than you, because he is a PC virus or something. He has a lore. He has a lore like few people in Czech, because not every VTuber has a lore, and have a lore. Sorry, and Spoiled Mouse is one of them who has a lore about him, and he is like I said, another experiment, a bad experiment.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Mm,
Though I wouldn't say I'm a bad experiment because
yeah, you
it actually turned out pretty well for Martinez in the long run, I'd say.
yeah, you are not the bad experiment, but he is sorry, he is a bad experiment. So okay, we can skip more questions because how many models in all time you said?
Actually,
you-
if you would only let me finish on the two colors because I went.
Yeah,
off the...
sorry.
It's okay. I just went on off a very very long tangent to explain why he looks the way he looks.
And I have one question of colors.
Yes.
Why you have different colors eyes?
Different colored eyes. Okay, so the azure one, the blue one, is the default color of his eyes. However, the gray one is a reference to a real life injury I sustained. And now this might sound like super bad because, oh my god, he was in the military. What the fuck happened to him that he sustained an eye injury? Well, I was doing a perimeter check around the base perimeter. And those of you who know the combat engineering base in southern Bohemia, that perimeter is pretty big. It's one of the biggest bases we have. So I was going around, and it's basically forest, right? And I wasn't really minding where I was going because there were people in front of me and I was talking to someone as well. And I got hit with a branch of I don't think it was a pine, but like some coniferous tree, basically, with needles. And I hit right in my eye, and I had that eye open at the time. And I just hurt it pretty badly. And because the med bay, as I call it, I suppose, the med bay was closed because it was Friday, and they go home after right after lunch, and we don't. We stay at work for at least like another hours on Friday. So I was doing this in the afternoon. There were no doctors. If they were to go check me, they would have to drive me all the way to fucking Tabor, which wouldn't be great because I would like to get off work in those next 30 minutes I was supposed to. So I did hurt my eye pretty badly. It hurt like shit. I kept it closed for like 2 days, I think, and I was crying pretty heavily. It seems that I have no terminal damage. Actually, it helped me because it hurt my eye. It forced the cells to regenerate, which means that I actually can see better on my right eye than I can see on my left eye. And so that's I decided to reference that in two eye colors as well, because the right eye was hurt, so it's gray.
Okay, okay. Back to the colors. Now Shiro color, please.
Yep. Okay, so blue is explained. That's him. White is what the goddess represents within him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different color of his personality. This is not known to many people, but Martinus can transform his I guess it's called sex. I guess I don't want to say gender because that's not very true. But he can transform his appearance from male to female. There we go. And that's because of the goddess that he shares that soul with. So when he transforms to his female form, his dominant color actually is a white and not blue. Blue is a secondary. So it depends on if he's a male or female, that which one of those two colors is dominant. And then there's the yellow. All hair endings he has and the tip of his tail are yellow. And those are actually magicules. This is magic stored within him. Since his human body is not made for something like that, like to contain the power of a god, it basically started storing excessive magic in, well, not extremities, but, the endings of his hair, the endings of his tail. Somewhere where there's actually some place to put them. So these yellow parts actually glow in the dark, and they can change how much there is of that yellow, and how much it glows can change depending on his mood and emotions. because it's basically completely linked to him as a person. It's his magic, basically, the manifestation of the magic he possesses, and he doesn't yet know how to control fully. And those are the
Okay.
3 colors we got here.
Okay, that's a long story short.
Well, as I said in the beginning, it's gonna be long.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. So
It's lore.
we can skip many questions right now. So I have a question. How many models in all time? You said you had.
I had only one live 2D. I don't really count the PNGs as individual models. It's gonna be
Okay.
like 5 of them though.
If you have two how you say it, model 2.0 or how you say it, so we can say you have 2 models all the time and whatever. So
Basically, I have 2 designs. 2 designs.
two design. Okay. And another question, that was a question in general. What you all of you have same questions for start, and okay, we are hour right now. So
I can keep going. I'm not limited today. It's all up to you. I'll answer anything you want me to.
Another question I have: why did you choose English? And this is you said in history question, so we can skip that. So tell me how you see in world scene like Czech VTuber.
The vision of the Czech VTubers on the international scene, I presume.
Okay, yeah, okay, I like that. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for us, well, first off, the most important thing to keep in mind is we can all make it big too, because in the international scene, as long as you speak English, the 2 biggest enemies you have is not the language. The 2 biggest enemies are you and your time zone.
No. The biggest enemies is you and Iron Mouse.
Oh well, we don't see Iron Mouse as competition. First, that would be foolish. Second, that wouldn't even be fair. She deserves it.
No, she's not competitionable for us, you know.
I mean, striving to get to Iron Mouse's level is something like, well, I don't know. I don't even know what to
and
put that with.
do you know Iron Mouse is not from USA?
Puerto Rico.
She's from Puerto Rico, I guess. So we can do big too like her, but I don't know if someone from Czech get up high like her, you know.
Well, the definition of the word big is different to each individual person. When I say big, I'm not looking at the stars. I'm looking at this very nice place where a person feels satisfied, can make enough money to actually support themselves, and be happy with what they're doing. And for like that, if you're working an actual job and then you don't want to be doing VTubing full time, that can be like, I don't know, 2,000 followers and having like 30 people on your streams every single time. That can be big for some.
Some people in Czech said if you earn money for existing or paying rent, and some you need I don't know 400 or 500 subs every month.
That is a pretty big number, but it is not unreachable.
That's a pretty for me. For example, for me, it's pretty big number because I average 10 subs every month. You know, so I'm on the beginning after 2 or 3 years. So, you know,
Yep.
I wish you luck. You go high above us all.
I don't think that's necessary. Honestly, I don't think I extremely deserve to be like a star, but I definitely have this little vision of where I would be comfortable with.
Yeah.
As I said many times before, if I make more than 1K in followers, I'm gonna consider myself a successful streamer.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool wish, you know. back to the question. Where we end?
Well, I was describing the enemies of you.
Yeah,
It's you. But
yeah. I won't say the best way how you see your progress is like everyone says is viewers. If you have 1,000 viewers, you are successful streamer. If you have 100 viewers, you are successful streamer. But if you have 20 viewers, you are not successful.
well, true and not true.
True and not true, because that's a horrible point what you watch when you're streaming, you know.
Well, there's also the factor that every single day, the people who are watching you are probably going to be doing different activities, and all of them might not be in a place to actually be able to watch you in that time. So looking at your viewers exclusively, like every stream, being like, okay, this one did well and this one did bad, I don't think it's very objective. I think it's actually not objective at all, to be honest. Because you don't know what your community is up to every single day you stream. And the reason that you didn't have many viewers on a stream doesn't necessarily have to be caused by the fact that they don't want to watch that game or they don't want to watch you that day, but also because they weren't able to actually be present at your stream, or they were watching someone else that was playing something else that they were more interested in. Because yeah, of course, we are all competing among each other, basically. I'm keeping it very light. Like I don't like working or seeing this as a competition. I'm just doing my thing, and if people want to choose me over someone else, that's fine. If they don't want to, I'm just gonna tell them, okay, enjoy watching that person because I support them too. After all, we VTubers are equally as viewers and moderators as we are streamers. So even though I don't like toxic positivity in the community, I do myself exercise this kind of outlook on the topic.
Yeah, what I know right now, this is a big mistake what you do in if you start streaming after every stream watching every viewers and so on, and drop your sanity, and you know
It's not good for your mental health at all.
Yeah, if you love this job or hobby, whatever, so you will do it, you know, to infinity.
Yeah, like there's a good stepping stone between doing it for fun and doing it for profit.
Yeah,
Because you're probably not gonna be able to do VTubing for profit in the future unless you do it for fun before you get to the place where you can actually profit from it. Because if you're not having fun, you're just gonna burn yourself out.
yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people graduate over the years, like an immense amount.
This is a rookie mistake, you know.
It's like I'm still here. I'm not big. I got like what 620 followers at the point of saying this. So it's like that's not big.
3 years, you know.
After 3.5 years, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I have I don't know, 700 followers or something, and still on the same way, you know.
But what's important is that we are still here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're probably here because we enjoy doing this. And that's like everything I need in my life.
A half year it took when I invite you to my podcast, you know.
That's not terrible. I mean, to each their own. It's that, you know, if I'm available, I just take it. I've adopted this mentality of just whatever. Shit works, it works. Shit doesn't work, it don't work.
Whatever, because I really fear from my English, because my English is horrible, you know.
Nah, you're doing fine.
For now, because you are a chick like me, so you know, if I don't know, you say me something what I know. But if I invite someone I don't know from other countries, it will be very problem for me, you know.
They will understand you, and that's the most important thing about communication, because you are understandable. If you're slow, nobody cares.
Yeah.
If you don't form like super elaborate sentences, nobody cares about that. They only need to understand you. That's the
So
most important
okay,
thing.
back to you.
I did have one more thing to add to this one.
Okay, go.
So I want to talk about the Czech mentality on the international scene.
No, please no. Czech mentality is horrible in
Yeah, it is. It is an important. It is an important thing to point out to someone. If you're a Czech person watching this right now and you're considering streaming, you have to know that to everyone else in the world, we're by definition just assholes. By the way we think about stuff, we're too pragmatic. We're too not really invested into our emotions when it comes to things. Basically, this nation of ours has seen shit and before, and that's how we were raised, to not get mopped up by people, to not get easily scammed, manipulated, all of that. We're hardy people, and it usually hurts people on the internet, especially Americans, French, even Germans, if you act to them without due presentation of emotion, which is something I had to learn over the years and change that, because I was losing friends over that a lot. Just keep that in mind, because we are too hardy for a lot of Westerners as it stands, and they don't like that.
You lose some friends about it, but you can find another, you know. Indeed,
and I did. But also I did.
Me too.
I did soften up a little bit with remarks and all of that, because, you know, we Czechs, at least me and my friends, we I don't know, call each other names and swear at each other for fun, and it usually just is to show how close we are to each other, that we can insult each other and it's not gonna be a problem for our mutual relationship. But that usually doesn't work with many people from other countries, and it usually actually hurts them. And what they do is that they bottle up, they don't tell you this, and then they make it a problem after the pot actually brews over. And I've had that many times. So keep it in mind that you have to be a little bit more considerate outside of our Czech community if you want to nurture good and healthy relationships with other people from the world.
Yeah,
that's basically
true.
I have on that topic.
Yeah, that's true. So, what I want to know about what I asked you before that. So yeah, I know. Can you complete or I don't know something your lore, or we can skip this question again?
What would you? That's a very broad subject. If you bring lore to me, I can be sitting here and doing an entire presentation about it.
Okay, so, I can invite you to my another show named VtuberTalk, where we sit with few VTubers and talk about some theme. So I can invite,
if you feel like it, sure.
I can invite you and someone like you, and we can talk about your lores. I think that will be fine.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Okay, so tell me something about your chat. How you name your chat, collaborating with your chat, and how you name, if you have a name for your chat. Like, I don't know if you know Diariku, she has Chatblin's name for her chat or something. I don't remember very well, sorry.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, I get that. A lot of big VTubers love to capitalize on this style of interaction. They call their chat special names and all that. Actually, I do have something like that. Basically, everyone who follows me is an affiliate with my company, and everyone who is subscribed to me is effectively an employee. That's what I would refer to them as. And I do have those little sub badges as well, which correspond to actual ranks within the company, and they change, like, they rank up as they go. So these are not just like random ass sub badges being like, oh, now it's gold, and oh, now it's diamond, and you're better. Those are actual ranks, which are represented in my lore as well. Like, everyone in the company who is in a military outfit has a rank to them. That rank has a specific representation. It has its own original design, which I devised.
So smell I SCP Foundation here.
Well, it is okay. There is some inspiration from the SCP, mainly in how my private military company makes bases because they're underground mostly.
I will in someday. I don't know when. I want to write SCP Foundation story with
Alright.
some VTubers. So maybe I can use you in that.
I guess you found the right person for it. I already have one.
Okay. So tell me some games we can skip because you say something about that, and
Yep.
about collaboration we can skip that too, and tell me something. Last question. Your stream schedule.
Stream schedule. Okay, so that's kind of a new thing to me after I left the army. But it's should I say it in PM, AM, or like the normal people 24-hour format? Well, let's say 4 p.m. on Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Thursday, and why did I write 4 p.m. Tuesday twice? No, it's okay. The third one is Saturday. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday are my usual stream days, which I do. But this is not set in stone. Sometimes I don't stream when something comes up, of course. And I don't usually announce this on Twitter because I kind of like gave up on Twitter at this point. I only interact with people there. No schedules are gonna be there anymore or anything. If you want to know this stuff, ask me on Discord. I'm always there, terminally online. But yeah, 3 days a week is what I should be streaming. I would try to adhere to that. And there can be guerrilla streams as well between those because I have a lot of time. So if I feel like playing something, I'm gonna be playing something. When it comes to the games that are being played, I try to keep the same game for the same time slot in that week, which seems to be working out pretty well lately. So,
in
yeah.
European time, I guess.
Yes, Central European summertime currently.
Yeah. Okay.
CST.
CST. Okay.
So it's 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 4 p.m.
Yeah. Okay. Have you something what you want to say to people on YouTube?
Well, I can basically just only thank them for watching, and hopefully they'll take the words I have devised here to heart. Mainly regarding the interaction with the international community when it comes to you being a Czech person and actually having to think about what you're doing. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be one of those VTubers who goes like, "Oh my god, like and subscribe," because that is your thing.
No. I didn't do. I don't do that. So sorry.
No, I meant like for myself,
No,
like.
No. I don't do that because I hate this. Hey, subscribe and hit the like button. You know, I hate this.
Yeah, ring the goddamn bell.
Hit the goddamn bell, man. So I sometimes I said this, but I hate this, pattern like everyone.
Yep, me too.
So okay, that's end, I guess. So thank you for watching, and thank you, Martin, for my guest.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
And okay, that's all for us, and see you next time. Bye.
But she bite like Demon Dress. My bitch's bitch gon' bring her bitch, that shit a triple threat. Niggas gawking all the doors and come and stepping on some necks. You trying to sneak your fucking brothers, but see you get no respect.